Hello. Welcome to day 9 of 21 Days to Feminine Magnetism. I hope you guys are reading along. I hope you guys are enjoying reading the book and answering the questions in the book and doing the daily reflection. Um, because that is the best way to really implement what is being said, right? Um, Make sure I get my mic on so y'all can hear me. Okay, so that is the best way really to really implement what is being said. Really to um internalize it, right? These questions are really self-reflection questions that will help you to internalize what is being taught about femininity and the feminine magnetism and how it's your superpower with men, right? So today is a day 9, and today is titled Femininity is the Juice. Femininity is the juice. Now I'm going to read this quote. It says, "They asked her, 'How do you free yourself?' She answered, 'By embracing my own power.'" Young Pablo. So there is extreme power in femininity. It's not only powerful, but it is a superpower. Contrary to popular belief by hardcore feminists and all this other things that want you to believe that femininity is a weakness. Oh, excuse me, guys. That femininity is a weakness, or it's about weakness, or it means a feminine woman is about being weak, or being a doormat, or not being able to um, freely express herself or be who she um, is really not what femininity is about at all. None of those things are feminine. Those are things are weak. Being a doormat is weak. Being, um, not having a voice is weak. All those things are just weakness. It's just that's what it is and has nothing to do with femininity. So I really want to debunk that misconception that femininity is about weakness, because it is not about weakness, guys. It is about strength, right? It's about strength and it's about power, and it is your superpower, especially with men. So today we're going to talk about femininity and how when you are feminine, you got the juice, right? So, what is femininity? Femininity is a very extensive term, right? But if you look it up in the dictionary or on Google, it'll give you something like characteristics that have to do with a woman or something like that, right? It's a very generic definition that really doesn't define anything, right? So, it's very much more extensive than that. Femininity is about who you are as a woman. It's about expressing your beingness. It's about being open to experiences. It's about receptivity. It's about vulnerability. It's about allowing a man to take the lead and you step back. It's about having boundaries. It's about having standards. It's about expressing yourself in a way that a man can hear and understand, and that isn't in your ego or makes his ego defensive, right? So that is really what hardcore, hardcore and femininity should not be in the same sentence. But that is really at the core is the word I was trying to say, came out wrong. At the core, that is what femininity is about, right? So as you go through this book, as you join my Facebook group, as you read my blog and follow me more, you will come to learn that femininity is about the energy that you emit, that comes out from you. It is not about tactics. It's not about strategies. It's not about playing games, right? So there are lots of other places on the internet and places where you get strategies and tactics that will give you very temporary fixes with men. But that is not the solution long term, because you can only pretend and fake it so long. If you're not truly a feminine woman, any tactic or strategy that seems feminine won't work in the long term because you're going to revert back to your old ways. I like to use, right? Lose the weight and stuff like that. But after they lose the weight, they end up gaining it back. Why? Because diets are temporary. So they go on this diet, this temporary diet, they lose this be fixed, they go back to their weight. So then they gain the weight back, right? But instead of dieting, what you should do is take on and eat, right? Incorporate exercise. That's how you lose weight and keep it off. So it's the same thing with this femininity thing. You can use strategies. You can read some things in my book, and you can use some tactics and strategies, and on the surface see, because you're not truly embodying the principles. That's not truly who you are, right? So being a feminine woman isn't about mind games. It's not about tactics. It's not about embodying the inner. It's about free flowing. It's about being in your feelings and being comfortable in your feelings and expressing yourself in those feelings. It's about removing the ego. And I have a section about the ego, but the ego is your enemy when it comes to femininity, because the ego is a very, it's a go, 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 prove yourself type of construct. Also relationships, because the ego is about separation and relationships are about unity. So anyone who has an extensive or hard ego is not set out to be in a relationship, especially a romantic relationship. Because when you're ruled by your ego, you're always going to be ruled by me, 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 and never about us. And how can you advance the situation? So let's get into femininity. So the main things about femininity are being receptive, being vulnerable, and being able to express yourself from your feelings, right? So that is really the outline of the three parts of your superpower. So being receptive means that you are a receiver, right? A lot of women, they are nurturers, they're motherers, and they're very much in masculine energy. And they give and they give and they give and they give. And if you've learned from previous videos, you will know that being in the constant giving energy is very masculine, because giving is a masculine energy, right? So a lot of women are not comfortable with receiving. You give them a compliment and they're like, oh no, don't tell me I'm pretty, or no, I'm not pretty. You're just saying that. Like, they're not able to receive even the smallest things like compliments very well. So it's a very much an insecurity. And so they cover up that insecurity by giving, right? And giving is a form of control. A lot of times for a lot of women, it's a form of trying to control a situation. So then they get upset that a man isn't responding to them the way they think he should, right? So what you have to do is you have to pull back. And you have to be comfortable with allowing a man to pursue. Because as we stated, a man falls in love as he pursues you. And you fall in love with him as you pursue him. So whoever's doing the pursuer is the one who's going to get caught up more into their feelings. Now you need to let your feelings take a back seat until he has shown you that, he has feelings for you and he's interested. And so that's why you want to be comfortable with receiving. You want to be comfortable with the man pursuing you. You want to be comfortable with the man taking you out, spending time with you, paying for the dates and things like that. Calling you, initiating contact. You want to be open and receptive. Next thing is you want to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is another core of femininity. Vulnerability means that you are comfortable enough with yourself that you don't feel the need to put walls up. You're not passive aggressive and you're not defensive and you're not led by your ego, right? So the thing about vulnerability is that you're soft on the outside, but you're strong on the inside. And what does that mean? So strong on the inside means that you have boundaries and you have standards and you don't allow those things to be crossed. Soft on the outside means you're inviting, you're soft, you're gentle, that type of thing. You allow a man to get close to you. You're open to him as long as he is fitting within your boundaries and your standards. Now, a lot of women who are masculine or insecure are the opposite, right? So they're hard on the outside, but soft on the inside. So what that looks like. So I like to say they have like this brick wall up on the outside. They're hard on the outside. They have this hard exterior. But on the inside, they're nothing but a ball of marshmallows. They are very, very soft. Very, very soft. So that looks like they put up this tough exterior, and they're very passive aggressive, and they're a lot in their ego, and they demand things from men, and they try and be controlling in the dating stage. And it looks like, I know we've only gone on one date, but I need you to stop and drop all the other women that you're talking to. They're just they have a lot of expectations. They just give a man a hard time. They're hard to please. But they're doing all that on the outside, because on the inside, they don't have any standards. And it doesn't work, because once a man somehow gets behind, because usually that wall, so when that wall comes down and somehow he gets past that wall, especially after sex, then all her insecurities comes out. And then a ball of marshmallows comes out, and you see that she has no boundaries, no standards, anything goes with her. She lets a man walk all over her. She doesn't address, and she doormat. She just lets things kind of, um, she tries to tiptoe over things, or she gets overly aggressive and kind of dramatic, as men would say, and crazy, very demanding, very, expecting boyfriend treatment, and you've only gone on treating him like he's your boyfriend, and you've only gone on a few dates. That type of energy, you know, very desperate, clingy type energy. So that is the opposite of what femininity is. That's not what femininity is, right? So, but a lot of women are in that energy. So you need to switch that around. You need to be soft on the outside, providing no expectations, no demanding, controlling behavior, but soft on the inside, hard on the inside. I'm sorry, hard on the inside, where you're strong, you're firm in your boundaries, and you're firm in your standards. So, and the last part of femininity, the major three, the last of the major three keys of femininity is being able to express your feelings, right? So a lot of women, they don't know how to express themselves from their feelings. They're so very logical, and they're always in their head. That's a very masculine way of doing things, because masculine energy is a very logical energy. It's always thinking. It's always computing. It's always analyzing. So a lot of women are analytical with it, and that's not a good way to be with men, right? Because that's how they are. So they seek out women because they want someone who is different than them, right? Um, so this is why straight men are seeking out women, because they like the fact that women are different than them. So a feminine woman is in tune with her heart. And men are not in tune with their heart as much as women are with our emotions and our intuition. So that's why they seek out women, because they balance them out, right? How men balance us out, they're more logical. They help us see things from a logical point of view, right? So and I go through this extensively in my Feminine Lounge. For those who are interested, please visit wifedupcoach.com in order to get more information about Feminine Lounge. Or you will also, there's plenty of information within the Facebook group, and the link to the Facebook group will be in the description. But really, when it comes down to it, like, you have to, when something is bothering you, you speak on it, right? Like I said, being feminine is not about being a doormat or letting someone walk over you. That's not femininity. Um, but you have to get in tune with your heart first. And I have a great meditation in the book about getting in tune with your heart. You have to get in tune with your heart. You have to know what you're feeling. You have to be comfortable with those feelings. So a lot of times it's like you're angry because he hasn't called you. So you need to get in tune with why you feel that way. Do you feel rejected? Do you feel sad? Do you feel disappointed? Put a label on those feelings, and then wait. A lot of times women, they let their anger get the best of them, and they call and they curse them out. Don't do that, right? Don't do that. So what you want to do instead of doing that is you want to get into your feelings and you say, okay, I feel really disappointed. I feel rejected. I feel a little hurt that I haven't heard from him in a couple of days. So then you will wait until the next time you hear from him. And then you can express yourself from that feeling place. Like, you know what? When you go days and days without contacting me, it makes me feel very sad. It makes me feel very rejected and disappointed a little. Is there something going on that I need to know? And then you can let him speak. And then most of the times in that situation, he will connect and say, okay, what I'm doing is affecting her in a negative way. But his ego won't be involved because you didn't blame him. You didn't say, well, you need to stop doing this. You need to stop doing that. You always do this. See, when you do that type of stuff, you flare up the ego of another person because you're playing the blame game. But when you don't say that person is in the wrong, their ego can't be get in the way. And when the ego is not in the way in a conversation, there's opportunity for connection. So when you own your feelings and you say, I'm responsible for my feelings, I feel this way. But you say, is there some way we can figure this out? So you say, is there something I should know? Or what do you think about what I just said? And then from that point, usually he'll apologize. That, you know what, I'm so sorry. Like I had this going on, I had that going on. If he cares, if he's a quality man. Now, if he doesn't care about you, you may not hear from him again, which is great. You know, if after 2 or 3 weeks, you can probably say, okay, I'm probably not going to hear from him and just move on with your life. Or if he does come back and he seems nonchalant or he's acts like you're crazy, then I would probably say you should make a decision about whether or not you want this type of man in your life, you know, because he has let you know that he doesn't care about your feelings, right? So those are just the 3 cores of femininity, but you can go in more details about what femininity really is in this section. Femininity is the juice. Okay, so make sure you answer the questions in today's lesson. If you are interested in this book, you can check it out in the link below. Make sure you join the Facebook group. The link is below. Like, subscribe, and comment. And definitely comment. I would love for those who are reading the book or have read today's section to know what are your thoughts about this. What are your interpretation? All right, have a great day. Bye-bye.